What up? What up? Happy Friday, and welcome to the Faith Unbuttoned podcast. I'm your host, Pastor K. Once again, this is an extension of Never Alone Christian Center, a virtual ministry based in Baltimore, Maryland, founded by yours truly and my wife, Miss Chiffon Wiley. Thank you for taking time to rock with us tonight. And don't forget, visit our website, neveralonecc.org, for all things happening at NAC. Also, check out our Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe. Turn on those notifications so that you may stay connected with what we're doing here at NAC. All right, now that the business is out the way, you guys know I'm always excited about Friday. One, because the week has come to an end, and particularly now, it's football season, and you already know we representing the Baltimore Ravens, and we've been doing well this season. But on a more sad note, I guess you could say, this is Police Week in our nation's capital as well as across the U.S. And if you guys don't know, I have a very strong connection to law enforcement with my career, and it has been a busy week. We've been recognizing nearly 400 families, several families that have had lost officers in the line of duty over the last 2 years, because year 2019 and 2020 are being recognized this year because of COVID. It was delayed. So I want to just have a brief 5 to 10 second moment of silence for those officers that were killed in the line of duty as we celebrate not really celebrate, but we recognize their passing away, and encouragement and prayer to the family and to the children that I had an opportunity to meet today of their lost loved ones. Thank you for that brief moment of silence for the law enforcement officers that are being recognized this week of Police Week that have passed in the line of duty in 2019 and 2020. The job is difficult, but someone has to do it. And unfortunately, many, way too many have been killed in the line of duty over the last couple of years. Okay, now on to the Faith Unbuttoned podcast. Tonight, our subject matter is relationship accountability. Relationship accountability. Let me adjust my chair. A little bounce there. And this particular topic is widespread. It has come up many times throughout not only Christianity and the church, but also just in society in general, where the accountability and relationships in this new generation, or in today's time, I don't want to just blame this generation, has some glaring issues in my humble opinion. And once again, you guys know I push my opinion throughout the course of this podcast, not necessarily representing the scriptural side of Never Alone Christian Center. Okay? So relationship accountability. So this topic stemmed from a post that I was watching on one of the social media platforms, and it's a well-known talk show, and they have very interesting subject matters on there that I like to tune into sometime just to get an idea of what's taking place in the culture. And on this particular show, I'm not going to be dropping names and stuff like that. But if you're really interested in who and what it was, just drop me a DM in my box and I'll share the clip with you. But the guest on there made a statement and said that women should give men credit for being faithful men. And I had to read it a couple of times. Women should give men credit for being faithful men to make it more appealing to be faithful, as if being faithful is a paid responsibility of some sort. So immediately I took pause with that particular statement, and I did listen out to the rest of the the interview, and I did, scroll through the comments to see what people were thinking, and many people were believing or siding as I would side. A large amount of women obviously were responding, and there were even some men who did respond as well in the several thousand comments. So me personally, I think the idea of women giving men credit for being faithful, or even vice versa, men giving women credit for being faithful, is a trash philosophy. I think it's a lazy mentality that we have no relationship accountability. I think it's lazy. And that's just my truth with that. You guys, I always say I'd like to keep stuff 100 and transparent and relevant to the faith. And I think it's just trash, because I think it's lazy for a man to think that a woman should give him credit, give him bonus points for being faithful to make it more appealing so more men are faithful, or so that more women are faithful. It's just a trash philosophy and a lazy mentality. Now, for the sake of this podcast tonight, I'm going to be speaking from the perspective of a man predominantly, because that's what I am. And this particular topic was being pushed by a man. So now, just some open statements, a backdrop. Okay, now you guys, if you've been following the podcast or following ministry, you guys know I've been married for going on 15 years now, coming up here in March of 2022, and my wife and I, we've been in a relationship, probably almost 16, 17 years. We met in college back in North Carolina, to make a long story short. And our relationship, I would like to believe, has been a good relationship, has been a good marriage. Okay. And there has been no issues with accountability in our marriage. We're very open with one another when it comes to things such as accountability. My philosophy on relationships, this is just my philosophy. This is what I teach, what I believe, and how I was raised. And this is my outlook on how relationships should be, just so you can understand where I stand with this particular topic on relationship accountability as we go forward through this particular podcast. I think the relationship should begin, obviously, when you meet each other. Whether you meet out at hanging out at a lounge, or at a nightclub, or wherever you meet online, however you meet, there should be a moment of meeting. Okay, and then there should be a time of dating. The church sometimes refers to this as courting, whatever. Okay, dating, courting, however you want to phrase it. There should be some time of hanging out with one another, getting to know each other, learning each other's personalities, the character traits, and stuff like that. And then there should be some discussion on your paths in life. What's your career path? What's your relationship path? What's your thoughts on children? Do you have children? There should be some discussion upon that. Do we want to take this relationship to the next level? I'm making this real small in a nutshell, okay? And then if you guys are ready to move to the next level, you think that, getting married is something that you should do and you want to do, I recommend some type of counseling. Be it spiritual, be it natural counseling, just to make sure that both parties are compatible with one another and can work things together, have the same drive, same goals, same principles, same morals, same values on the relationship, and pushing forward. And then once counseling is complete, then there's marriage. Okay, that is a nutshell of what I believe a relationship should be and the levels of a relationship. Obviously, there are various branches that stem off that tree. If there's children, if there's been a divorce, if there's been separation, and all those type of things, okay? All right. Now, some words of wisdom that my father gave me before he passed. Because when me and my current wife, we were dating in college, I just, there were some things that I was requesting of her, and in all honesty, she was being a college student, and I was looking for something serious. But some words of wisdom, I called my dad. I said, well, Dad, I said, she doesn't seem to be, complying or being in this relationship like how I felt the relationship should be going. And he simply said, is she your wife? I said, no, she's not my wife. He was like, well, she doesn't have to do anything you say. She doesn't have to do anything that you are requesting or you desire, because she's not your wife. I said, but I like her, I love her, and I want to build a relationship. He said, well, if she's not ready to do that, then you have to make the decision, son, if you want to remain in this relationship while she continue to do what she would like to do. Not that she was doing nothing crazy, guys, so keep your mind straight. Okay, but I was looking for a serious relationship. Okay, and I said, okay, Dad. So I made the decision throughout the course of that this wasn't going to work. So we broke up. Years down the road, we got back together. She traveled her path. I traveled my path. We got back married. I say all that to say, when we get into these relationships, there has to be some discussions on boundaries of the relationship. What are the expectations of the relationship? Where do we currently stand? What do you think where do you think this relationship is going? Create these boundaries, create this atmosphere, have these open discussions. And I think what this does is it helps us to build relationship accountability. Because as a man, if I go into a relationship where the woman is like, well, I'm dating you and I'm dating 3 other guys because I'm keeping my options open. That may sound crazy, but I heard a young lady say that. She was dating 3 to 4 other guys because she wanted to see what the options looked like. If I was dating that person, I wouldn't feel comfortable knowing that you were dating 4 other people other than me or 3 other people other than me, and you wasn't exclusive with me. If you're in a relationship and that information is made known and it is clear, then we cannot expect any relationship accountability because it has been made known that I'm dating 3 other people, you're dating 3 other people. I don't understand why you're in a relationship with one another, dating 3 other people, but that's just my opinion. But the bottom line is, when it comes to relationship accountability, women, talk to men and find out what are their expectations for this particular relationship. Men, talk to the girl that you're dating. What are their expectations? This is how you create accountability. And accountability is just being answerable to one another in the course of the relationship. All right? Okay. I want to look at a few things tonight. But I'm going to take my time. We have to take a couple of podcasts for this. It's cool. Let's look at the basic relationship structure. Because this is a big topic for me, because I believe in families. And I believe families create strong communities, strong homes, strong children. And I believe they develop an atmosphere. Obviously, in my role as a pastor in the church, they develop an atmosphere in the church that keeps things strong. But when there's constant struggle with accountability in relationship, then it's hard to grow. Because every time you're growing, your roots are being planted, and then all of a sudden someone cheats, someone dogs you out, or whatever the case may be, it's like starting all over again. And that's frustrating for any relationship. So some basic structure of a relationship. I'm going to give you 4 of them. First, let's make this clear. Relationships are volunteer. Got real quiet there. And I got quiet for a reason. Because relationships are volunteer. As a man, if I decide to get into a relationship, I am making a volunteer decision to get into the relationship with this young lady. And I am choosing to grow with this young lady if that is the path of the relationship. It is volunteer. No relationship should be built, in my opinion, on force. Well, I gotta date her. We got kids together. I gotta date him because of this. I gotta do this. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to. We're talking about accountability, relationship accountability. It's a volunteer situation. Well, I love him, but he keeps cheating on me. Well, voluntarily break up. Oh, I love her, but she keep dogging me out and whatever. She keep posting crazy stuff on the gram or on Facebook and YouTube or whatever platform, TikTok, whatever they're using. Well, voluntarily get out of the relationship. If it's not meeting your desires, you say, well, it's not that easy, Pastor K. I just don't want to walk away. What if I can't find nobody else? Well, what are you willing to tolerate? Are you willing to tolerate all of that trash? Are you willing to tolerate it? Well, stop complaining if you're going to tolerate it. Don't complain about it if you're going to tolerate it. You say, well, Pastor K, it's easy for you to say. You already married, you got a family, everything's going for you. Okay, well, there were certain things I wasn't going to tolerate. We got to common ground, and now we're good. You have to be willing, if you want a strong relationship, with accountability, you have to be willing to say, well, I'm not going to tolerate that. I don't care how fine you are. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what you do for me. I am not going to tolerate that. But in my opinion, what I am seeing, a lot of women, in my opinion, are tolerating a lot of stuff from a lot of men. Thus, we can't get upset when there's no relationship accountability because we tolerate all this trash. You see? Second thing, basic relationship structure. It's volunteer, and it should be built on trust. It should be built, number 3, it should be built on respect. And number 4, it should be built on love. In this particular list, I want to say I am listing these by what I value as important. Because I feel like you have to build trust, build respect before you can build love. I think it's difficult to love, then build trust, then build respect. Because I think it takes trust and respect to love somebody. Now, that's just my humble opinion. That's my humble opinion. So it's the relationship, basic relationship structure. It's voluntary. It should be built on trust. It should be built on respect and then built on love. If these 4 basic things are not in place, I don't believe we have a leg to stand on when it comes to relationship accountability. If there's no trust developed, no respect, no love, and we don't recognize there's a volunteer relationship, there's no expectation of relationship accountability. If there's been no conversation on the path of this relationship, the direction of the relationship, well, I like the way she looked. I like the way he looked. I like the job he got. I like this. I like this. I like that. I like this. I like that. Okay, all of that is cool. All of that is great. But that doesn't take the relationship into a zone of relationship accountability. Accountability is an acquired thing built from the trust, built from respect, built from love. Because if I trust you and I respect you and I have loyalty toward you, I am going to show forth a level of relationship accountability, or I should. If I don't, then I have the problem. I have the problem. All right. So let's look at the question that's asked all the time. Okay. All right. Okay. Lazy men and women excuse cheating or cheating behavior. Okay. I don't want to say everybody's cheating. Cheating behavior. Blowing up DM boxes of other women or other men. Sending pictures that are inappropriate to other men and other women. Inappropriate conversation. All of this falls, in my opinion, in the cheating behavior or breaking of trust in a relationship. And we have to be cautious with this type of stuff because it's so easy today to do this with technology and social media. It's so easy. It's so easy to fall into a trap. It's so easy. Okay? Relationship accountability. Lazy men and or women excuse cheating or cheating behavior with a laundry list of reasons and excuses. We're going to look at 7 of them. 7 of them. And I gathered these from searching many platforms. The first reason a lot of men cheat, or even women, with relationship accountability is immaturity. Okay, you got into this relationship. He's a nice young man. She's a nice young lady. Are they mature? In other words, do they have any experience with a committed relationship? Do they have any experience with a woman of your stature or a man of your stature? Do they have any commitment or any experience? If you've been in multiple relationships and you meet somebody brand new who's been in very few relationships, there has to be conversation on the level of experience that you guys are getting ready to embark upon. Because you don't want to go into a relationship with someone who's immature or has little experience with a committed relationship because your expectations may not be met. Immaturity. And it happens. It happens. Why do a lot of men date up? Because they're tired of immature women. When I say date up in age. Why do some women date older or even date just a little bit maybe below them, because it comes down to a level of immaturity, or dating someone with maturity rather. Okay? Relationship accountability, we have to understand that there has to be a discussion about maturity and what is the level of experience. Do not go into a situation where you are experienced in committed relationship and the person that you are engaging with has very little experience, unless you plan on having a growth process or a growing period to develop that level of maturity. A second reason why men and women excuse cheating with cheating behavior is insecurity. Insecurity. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm not handsome enough. I'm not rich. I'm not smart. Ego, 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 ego. It's an excuse. It's an excuse. Insecurity. Insecurity. Well, I keep cheating on my girl because, I'm insecure. I feel like, if I looked a little better, if I did this, stop. Just say you want to cheat. Just my thing is, this has always been my thing when I was dating or whatever. If I didn't want to be with the girl I was with anymore, I ended a relationship instead of breaking somebody's heart. I just ended a relationship. You say, well, that's kind of cold. Well, no, it's getting out of the relationship instead of breaking someone down. Well, yes, when you're breaking with them, yes, you're breaking it hard, but cheating on them and dogging them can be just as bad. And when I was listening to this podcast today, the young man, he blew my mind. He was like, well, it's different for men than women because, men can just go cheat. And, we don't really feel nothing about it, But women do it, they all emotional. That's trash, man. It's trash. It's a trash excuse. Just say you out there. I'm getting country on you real quick. Just say you out there. Stop making some lame trash excuse, trying to make it philosophical. Oh, men this and women that. It's trash. You don't want to be faithful. Just stop. It's trash. Okay? It's just trash. Insecurity, immaturity, insecurity. A third reason why men cheat or women cheat, a laundry list of cheating behavior when it comes to relationship accountability. And I don't want to just put everything in the cheating box. I'm just talking about accountability in general. Any level of accountability, immaturity, insecurity. Number 3, it's over. The relationship is over, but the man or the woman doesn't have the guts to tell this girl or to tell her guy, so they cheat and try to set the stage so hopefully the other person will break off. Well, in 2021, you do that, you might find yourself in a fight. It's a different day. Don't be trying to set no stage. Well, if I cheat, and she catch me, then maybe she'll break it with me and I can get out of this, because you don't have the guts to just tell her that you're done with the relationship. Or ma'am, you don't have the guts to tell her you're done with the relationship. So you try to create, you try to drag them through the mud hoping they leave you. Set the stage because you don't have no guts. You don't have no courage to just end the relationship. Stop dogging people and just end the relationship, because all you're going to do is dog that person out, and then they get into another relationship down the road, and now they're broken and have to go through therapy and get counseling, and then they get into another relationship, and then they're broken and get with somebody else who's broken, and now they got more drama. It's just bad. End it. Just end it. If you're over it, end it. Do it professionally. Do it as an adult. Do it with a level of maturity. Do it with a level of courage. But just end it, because don't drag people through the mud. Okay? Relationship accountability. It's over. Version number 2. You want to end the relationship, but you want to make sure you got somebody else lined up before you end the relationship. It's trash, bro. It's just trash. Yo, Pastor K, I'm just going in tonight. It's just trash. You lining up shorty number 2 or homeboy number 2. So you lining them up real quick so you can get out of your relationship. I don't like it. Listen, my final thoughts. We're going to pick up on this next week. My final thoughts. Listen, relationship accountability, it's a big buzz thing these days. And I think it's lazy. It's lazy. It's a lazy mentality if we want to continue to dog the person we with because we don't want to be accountable. and make some crazy excuse. Just do you. Just do you alone. Be single. Stop dragging people through the mud. All right. I love you guys. Have a good weekend. Don't forget to tune in to our Sunday teaching. We'll be streaming on neveralonecc.org as well as all our other platforms. You guys be safe. Have a good weekend. Let's go.